President. Well, this public interest immunity claim is just another shameful episode by this government. I mean, what about the participants? What about the families that you are causing a huge amount of angst to? Let me just point out to the government, and while Senator Pratt scoffs over there, I'm the mother of a participant. I work with an awful lot of participants and their family. I'm the Deputy Chair of the Joint Standing Committee on the NDIS. I spent 4 days last week across Victoria and Tasmania meeting with NDIS participants.
Senator Hughes,
sorry, through you, Chair.
To direct your comments to the Chair.
Through you, Chair, that perhaps you can remind scoffs from those opposite are disorderly.
Senator Hughes,
we got a lecture on disorderly behaviour today, so perhaps we could see that upheld by their own behaviour.
Senator Hughes, contrary to standing orders, reflections against other senators, he's contrary to standing orders. So
I was responding
would ask
to
you
an
to
interjection.
reflect on your comments, but also to direct your comments through the Chair.
Sure. So through you, Madam Acting Deputy President, families that are involved in the NDIS, participants that are involved in the NDIS, families and people that rely on the NDIS to be an important part of their life going forward, so that they know their child will be taken care of when they are no longer there able to care for them themselves. Absolutely shame on you hiding behind this PII claim when you are undermining what is something that is the most important thing in many, many families' lives and many people's lives to ensure that they are able to participate every day. And when we hide behind states and territories and our relationship, the government's relationship might be damaged, let me tell you what the problem is with the states and territories' relationships. The Labor government may have introduced the NDIS, but they completely mucked up the design by protecting the states and territories from any increase in costs, saying, don't worry about it, just sign on, and the Commonwealth will pick up the tab for every increase in cost. So you know what the states and the territories did? They said, excellent. The Commonwealth's going to pick up the fees, so we're going to vacate the field. There's no more community health speech therapy. There's no more community health occupational therapy. Teachers aged in classrooms, you've got to be kidding me. There is no support in the education system. The states and territories have vacated the field. So if you're hiding behind a relationship, if those opposite, through you, Chair, are hiding behind a relationship with the states and territories, I'll tell you why they're hiding behind it is because the states and territories don't care about people with a disability, and the Labor government introduced the NDIS, and this Labor government continue to give them a leave pass. If you were serious about sustainability, any conversation would include how states and territories need to be brought back to the table. They need to be shown a copy of the Constitution. You're big on the Constitution at the moment. Maybe you can show the states and territories what they're responsible for delivering. That includes health, education, mental health, all of those things. You know, mental health. Do you know a lot of people are going on the NDIS around mental health, psychosocial disorders? Because these lot, when they got into government through you, Madam Acting Deputy President, couldn't wait quick enough to cut the number of services that were available through the Better Access to Mental Health Care because they don't care. It's all about helping their unions. And I come to this because what we know as well, it's not about making sure we have better services and choice of control for participants. They're trying to push as many people and many providers as they can through to a union platform because they've got to give their pound of flesh back to their union masters. And this is what we're seeing in their IR reforms. The IR reforms is almost a blatant attack on Mabel, which is a horizontal platform that people with disability use every day to get support workers. But what those opposite don't understand is it's actually a platform that people with a disability use to allow themselves to get into the workforce. Remember when it was called Same Job, Same Pay? It's now some loophole thing. Clearly it didn't poll well as a slogan. What happens to people with a disability who have negotiated agreements with an employer? Say there's a cleaner who takes a third longer or two-thirds longer of time to provide that service, and a company's now forced to pay someone with a disability and a cleaner without a disability the same. You know what's going to happen? The person with the disability is going to lose their job. But they don't care about that over there because they're probably not a member of a union. So they don't care. But they will continue to hide. And, you know, we keep seeing these media drops. Are they going to start excluding conditions? Is autism out? We're going to start doing something about just cutting out autism. We know what Minister Shorten wanted originally. But rather than looking at taking data from the early childhood pathway, rather than looking at functional assessments like Vineland and the Mullen scale to actually determine what level of assistance a child needs, whether or not in a very, very objective way you can say to a family, you've made great gains, your child does not have a permanent lifelong disability, we can move them off the scheme. These guys have no interest, they have no understanding and no capability to manage this scheme. When they built it, and all credit for the scheme, it's absolutely life-changing for people. But they mucked it up in its implementation and they're continuing to destroy it.